Nvidia has exploded higher plus 8.74% to $227.98, a historic single-session move that demands your attention. In this video we break down what is driving this and what it means. Welcome to MTRS_Market Pulse. It is Friday, August 28th, and this is your complete global market briefing. It is a split session across global markets. Traders are reacting to news that S&P 500, NASDAQ end down on tech stocks, investors weigh Iran moves. Let us start with a quick look at how the major global markets are positioned today. Starting with the major global indices. S&P 500 is trading higher by plus 0.72% at $7,730.99. Investor sentiment is being shaped by stock market today. Dow gains 500 points, SpaceX snaps a losing streak, Bitcoin pops, Investors Business Daily. NASDAQ 100 edged higher plus 1.43% to $29,642. Investor sentiment is being shaped by NASDAQ, S&P 500 lifted by Nvidia's forecast, investors' eye speech by Fed's wash. Dow Jones ticked up plus 0.20% to $53,569. Investor sentiment is being shaped by tech drags S&P 500, NASDAQ lower as Iran tensions, Nvidia earnings loom, the spokesman review. DAX edged higher plus 0.64% to €26,537. Traders are reacting to news that S&P 500, NASDAQ end down on tech stocks, investors weigh Iran moves. FTSE 100 ticked up plus 0.23% to £10,817. Equity markets are responding to reports that NASDAQ, S&P 500 lifted by Nvidia's forecast, investors' eye speech by Fed's wash. Now let us turn to some of the biggest names in global equities. Nvidia made a dramatic move today, surged plus 8.74% to $227.98. Investor sentiment is being shaped by Amazon just tripled its order of Nvidia chips over surging demand, Yahoo Finance. The AI infrastructure supercycle shows no sign of slowing. Nvidia's pricing power on H100 and Blackwell chips remains exceptional, no credible competitor is close on performance. The next catalyst is the next earnings call. Any upward revision to forward estimates would push the stock toward new highs. The main downside risk remains export controls. TCS made a dramatic move today, surged plus 4.16% to 2,342 Indian rupees. Investor sentiment is being shaped by Indian IT firms face muted Q1 as RE shift, weak demand weigh. The 26 to 28% EBIT margin band has been consistently delivered. The market wants to see whether AI-driven productivity allows margin expansion beyond the upper end of that range. Attrition stabilization is a positive signal on demand confidence. AI services deal conversions are the emerging growth driver. Samsung plunged minus 3.38% to 257,000 Korean wons in a significant session. Equity markets are responding to reports that Samsung profit surges over eightfold to beat estimates as RE boom fuels memory chip crunch. HBM3 yield rates for AI training chips are the most critical near-term metric. Any positive update would drive a meaningful earnings upgrade cycle. The memory upcycle is intact, but Samsung's foundry losses are a drag. A recovery in smartphone DRAM pricing would add a second earnings lever. Nintendo made a dramatic move today, surged plus 3.04% to 8,993 yen. Equity markets are responding to reports that Nintendo earnings preview, signs of a stock price reversal amid memory money rotation. Q1 operating profit forecast up 30% YOY, a litmus test for a market bottom, moo. From a momentum perspective, the next key resistance for Nintendo sits around 9,532 yen and 58 sen. A sustained break above that level could attract further institutional buying. The main risk to the upside scenario is a shift in macro conditions or central bank tone. This is our analytical view, always do your own research. Now let us dig into the macro picture driving these moves. On the geopolitical front, traders are reacting to news that S&P 500, NASDAQ end down on tech stocks, investors weigh Iran moves. This is adding a risk premium across energy markets and supporting safe haven demand. Central bank policy is at the forefront of investor minds. Equity markets are responding to reports that NASDAQ, S&P 500 lifted by Nvidia's forecast, investors' eye speech by Fed's Wash. On the data front, investor sentiment is being shaped by tech drags S&P 500, NASDAQ lower as Iran tensions, Nvidia earnings loom, the spokesman review. Turning to commodities. Brent crude dropped sharply to $88.20 per barrel, down 1.67% on the session. This comes as NASDAQ and S&P 500 climb as Nvidia earnings fuel tech rally, TradingView, adding pressure to energy markets. WTI crude slipped to $83.19 per barrel, down 0.41% on the session. This comes as NASDAQ and S&P 500 climb as Nvidia earnings fuel tech rally, TradingView, adding pressure to energy markets. Natural gas slipped to $2.90, down 0.34% on the session. Traders are reacting to news that S&P 500, NASDAQ end down on tech stocks, investors weigh Iran moves. Gold edged higher to $4,658 per troy ounce, up 1.05% on the session. Safe haven demand is being supported by reports that gold as a safe haven for investors, and how it can work in a diversified portfolio, Chase Bank. Let us give you our near-term view on Nvidia. With momentum this strong, traders will be watching the $241.66 level closely. A clean break there would confirm the uptrend and could bring in additional momentum buyers. Risk management remains critical, always size positions according to your own risk tolerance. In the currency markets, Euro to US dollar is at 1.16, losing 0.09% on the day. Pound sterling to US dollar is at 1.36, losing 0.12% on the day. US dollar to Japanese yen is at 159.68, gaining 0.27% on the day. The move in the dollar reflects reports that from vision to delivery, building Europe's tokenized financial market, European Central Bank. Here is what we will be watching closely in the days ahead. Keep a close eye on central bank speakers and rate commentary, and key economic data releases. Any one of these could be the catalyst that defines the next major directional move. Independent market coverage, no subscription fees, no paywalls. If this analysis saved you time and helped you think more clearly about the market, please like the video. It costs you nothing and it directly funds more content like this. Subscribe for daily coverage across indices, stocks, commodities, forex, and crypto. Tell us in the comments, what are you watching most closely right now? That wraps up today's coverage from MTRS_Market Pulse. This content is for educational purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own research. Stay disciplined, and we will see you tomorrow. That is your full global market briefing from MTRS_Market Pulse. Subscribe and turn on notifications for daily updates.